This video is for the adding decimals and adding decimals to activities. They're both very similar, so I'm just going to show you a couple of questions from each one. And basically these questions are just using your numeracy toolbox strategies that you would have learnt on the other side of your maths sheet. So in this case we've got 3 1/10 and another 7/10. It's going to be 3.8/10 to do these quite quickly. And 6.8 and another tenth is 6.9. And then you'll get some that are a little bit trickier, possibly. Here we go. So you go to hundredths, so it's 9 and 14 hundredths plus 0 and 21 hundredths. 9.35. And you might have some that have different amounts. Here we go. So this one's got 8 and 0.42, and this one is 0.391. So remember, we have to add like to like. So we've got 8 and no more wholes. We've got 4/10 and 3/10 is 7/10. We've got 2 hundredths and 9 hundredths. So 2 hundredths and 9 hundredths is going to be 11 hundredths. So we need to, that's a tenth and a hundredth. So 0.81, because you can't have part 11 in there. So you have to put the tenths up by 1. And then we've got 1,000th on its own and no thousandths here. Okay, so all I did there was added along the number. Column addition would work as well if you line them up over the top of each other, making sure you have your thousandths over nothing, and your hundredths over hundredths, tenths over tenths, and ones over ones. Okay, so column addition will work for these as well, but you've got to have the right place value over each one. Okay. If we look at the other activity in that same category, it's adding decimals to, and you'll notice it's very much the same activity, just slightly harder numbers. It gets straight into the hard ones from question 1. So let's do one more. So we've got 3 plus nothing is 3. Remember to put in the decimal point. 2/10 and 6/10, 8/10. 4 hundredths and 3 hundredths is 7 hundredths, and no thousandths and 2 thousandths is 2 thousandths. Okay. And one more. 8 point. Here we've got 8/10 and 9/10. That's going to be 1.7 altogether. 17, 1.7. So that means we've got to put that up to 9.7 because it was at 8 already. But we've got another whole one out of these tenths and 7 more tenths. 7 hundredths and 7 hundredths. So that's 14. You can't put 14 in here, so you put the 4 in, and the 7 becomes an 8. Yeah. And no thousandths and 9 thousandths is 9 thousandths. Okay. So just adding them up is adding decimals and adding decimals to.